Welcome back to the Dugs. Aside from the seat of your pants action today, we'll also explore Josh Hamilton's priorities, Nomar Garciaparra's swimming, and who gave Rick Ankiel the yips. It's time for some simulated baseball. Everything we do here is an excuse to tell a lot of baseball stories and a lot of jokes, so if that sounds interesting to you, stay in the know and help us grow with a shiny free subscription to our channel. Also, we're kind of dropping you into the middle of the tournament here, so if you'd like to backtrack and make sure you're up to date, a link to the playlist is dropping in up top here, so feel free to give that a click. The Expos are fresh off their first win of the season, which they achieved against the Black Sox, and taking down a second win here would go a long way to getting them back in the playoff picture, as it would draw them even with the Tucson Too Soon's record. Well, things are going to be a little bit more difficult for them as Josh Hamilton hits home run number 4 of the tourney to stake Tucson to a 2-0 lead. And the next run that scores for either side is home run number 5 for Josh Hamilton. He is most definitely in the running for league MVP. I really wish this guy would stop hitting home runs because we usually highlight stories about the top performers of the game, and Josh's stories are not uplifting to talk about. Tattoos. He's got some tattoos, like this one. Okay, not ideal. And I get what he's saying here, but I mean, from a messaging perspective, at this point in your life, if you can accurately quote your arm tattoo and say, sobriety is priority number 4, I mean, at this point, just turn it into a Mickey Mouse or something. It's 3-0 Tucson, and J.R. Richard has been dealing. Montreal has yet to hit the scoreboard. Entering the bottom of the 6th, he's only surrendered 3 hits and hasn't allowed a run yet. Moises Alou would like to change that. This is his second double of the tourney as he absolutely smokes it, and Will Cordero picks up a clutch 2-out single to bring him home. Expos trail 3-1. It's immediately given back the next inning, however, as Nomar Garciaparra gets a hold of one. Thank goodness someone else has connected for a home run. Story time, what's Nomar been up to? Let's hope for something good. Big money, big money, big money. Oh, he rescued someone out of the Boston Harbor and saved their life. Let's see who. Oh, god damn it. Yep, it was Josh Hamilton. Anyways, top of the 8th, and this Too Soon start to pile on. Hello, my name is Tony Canigliaro. You hit me in the face in 1967. Prepare to die. The Too Soons have run up the score to 6-1, but it's not over yet. Montreal has 6 outs and a saucy French accent. Rally time. Marquise Grissom leads the inning off with a double. Good start. Cliff Floyd singles, putting men at the corners. Moises Alou walks, and so we have the bases juiced with nobody out, and after 7 innings of fantastic pitching, J.R. Richard starts to panic. Larry Walker shows that his last name is astute as he takes 4 balls and a run comes home 6-2. Will Cordero walks, and all of a sudden it's 6-3 with the bag still full and nobody out. Darren Fletcher's up next. He singles and Moises Alou comes home to score. 6-4 and the bases are still loaded with no one out. So J.R. Richard comes out and in comes Chris Carpenter in relief. His first appearance this tourney wasn't great as he gave up 2 hits which included a 2-run home run. But he gets the first out here as Sean Barry is able to make the force out at the plate and keep the score 6-4. Mike Lansing says, "You like that? You want to see that again?" That's another force out at the plate as Freddie Sanchez is on the spot for the Too Soons at second base and potentially saving the game. Lenny Webster's up next, and it's not over yet as he takes one for the team and country. And we have a 1-run ball game. It's 6-5. And so Marquise Grissom comes up for the second time in the inning with a chance to tie or better. And he smokes it, but it's right at Dave Nielsen at first, and it goes unassisted to end the inning. Once again, the Expos try to give it back. A hit by pitch and a walk contributes to the bases loading up in the 9th with only 1 out for the Too Soons. The Expos stay with Tim Scott though. He got them into this mess and he'll have to get them out. The first picture I found of this guy is right here. I wouldn't doubt him. That's like the sports equivalent of a glamour shot. Where's the laser background? Kurt Flood is up for Tucson, and that's a double play ball. Can they convert? Yes, they can, and so the Expos stay alive and have another crack at it in the bottom of the inning. The Too Soons are once again throwing caution to the wind and bringing Rick Ankiel in to close things out. Ankiel was the pitcher that had to reinvent himself as a hitter after developing the yips and not being able to hit the broadside of the barn. These yips sprung up in a different pressure-packed situation. It was the 2000 NLDS, and Ankiel, who was in his first full season, was tapped to start Game 1. It was out of necessity. Ankiel and Darryl Kyle, who's also at Tucson too soon, were the only healthy starters the Cardinals had left. Cardinals manager Tony La Russa must have been aware of Ankiel's nerves as he had the veteran Darryl Kyle answer questions from the media before the game as if he were going to start, but then La Russa pulled the old switcheroo and had Ankiel take the mound. The move was reportedly designed to shield Ankiel from the pressure. Well, that didn't really work, as the highlight reel of his wildness we showed you earlier in the season was from this game. He walked 4 and threw 5 wild pitches in a single inning en route to allowing 4 runs. That was the beginning and the end. He started Game 2 of the NLCS and was taken out after 20 pitches, 5 of which could not be corralled by the catcher. He came in relief in Game 5 of the series as well and faced 4 batters, walking 2 and adding 2 more wild pitches to his tally. La Russa put this on himself, claiming putting him into the important position of starting Game 1 of the NLDS is a decision that will haunt him for the rest of his days. Of course, he made that comment prior to being booed out of the city of Chicago after embarrassing himself as the coach of the White Sox.
A lead late.
But I'm sure it's still in the top 5 of his mental haunts. So let's see if Ankiel can hold it together. This season is all about second chances. He already has 1 clean save. Let's see if he can be the first tourney player to get 2. Cliff Floyd, down swinging. Moises Alou, Moises is hit by a pitch. That'll put the tying run on first with arguably the Expos' best hitter in Larry Walker coming to the plate. On a full count, he's down swinging as well. Will Cordero is their last chance. He hits it right on the screws, but right at Jackie Robinson at third base, and that'll be the ball game. Ankiel's looking to be yipless as he gets his second save of the tourney. Expos fall to 1-3, while the Tucsoons moved on to 3-1. Josh Hamilton was a huge part of the win today, and now leads the tournament field in home runs. It's his second multi-homer game, bringing him to 5 total. On the other side of the ball, Butch Henry had a pretty forgettable outing on the mound, surrendering 5 runs. Darren Fletcher has been productive for the Expos, accounting for the only multi-hit game on his team, and now hitting .417 for the tourney. To stay a game ahead of the Tucsoons, Club Snub will need to hold serve against the winless Black Sox. Hamish has that game, so let's send it over to him.
Johnny, I've learned my lesson. No World Cup talk today, it's all baseball. Hopefully, if I'm good, Johnny will reward me with a much better matchup than the undefeated Club Snub versus the winless Black Sox, which appears to be my punishment today. David Cohn's on the mound for Club Snub and he faces John Sullivan. One of these men has pitched a perfect game, won the Cy Young, and is a 5-time world champion. The other is John Sullivan. Okay, we work with the hand we're dealt, to the action. Bottom of the second, and that's a double for Jeff Kent. Todd Helton is next, and it's double, toil and trouble as he does the same, and Kent opens the scoring on the day. Frankly, it's looking like 1 run might be enough for Cohn, who's cruising here in the third. He's currently providing colour commentary for both the Yes Network and ESPN, so he's not just pitching well, he's then explaining to the batter what he could have done better. In this case, he explains to Eddie Murphy he really didn't get a good enough lead to attempt to steal, and he needs to spend 48 hours studying raw footage before he tries something like that again. It's still 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Reggie Smith can play 7 musical instruments, and his organs will be hurting here as he's hit by a pitch. Next on the main stage, gentlemen, get your singles ready for Ephus! Bob Johnson obliges and drops a single. Buddy Bell, who is a name that certainly suggests he visits those establishments, also throws a single out there. The bases are loaded, and on a 3-0 count, Bill gets a 3-in pass and it's 2-0. This match's Tinder is lit up now, as first David Cohn, then Bill Darlin, and finally Jeff Kent all swipe right on a bunch of singles, and like Chuck Berry said, go Johnny, go go go. Sullivan is pulled. Tom Maguire is in, but at 5-0, this game is deader than A-line flares with pockets in the knees. However, there's still time for career 155 hitter David Cohn to get himself another RBI before he walks Eddie Murphy. Again, then throws out Eddie Murphy. Again. Now bear in mind, Honest Eddie always told the truth about the Black Sox scandal, so it's no surprise the man can't steal. I haven't had enough Cohn today, so let's see him again. And like Elton John, his third hit is a rocket, man. Actually it wasn't, the exit velocity was only 97 miles per hour, but I've been waiting all season for a player to get his third hit of the day with a home run to use that joke. It just doesn't seem to be happening, so this was as good as it got. As predicted, this game was as close as ions of like charge, but the Snubs' charge to the playoffs is complete. They can't be caught thanks to David Cohn's 3 hits and pitching into the 9th. Snub are 4-0 and they're heading to the playoffs. The Black Sox are 0-4 and headed back to the annals of history, I guess. Our next video will see the 6 out of 5s against the 81 Reds and the Diamonds in the rough against the Pittsburgh Crawfords. As always, give us a prediction and you can win something. Maybe a voicemail from Johnny Paprika where he will provide you with an alibi for absolutely anything. He's good like that. Next up on the Dugs, live coverage of paint drying from Lords, the Oval and the MCG. Until the next video, I've been Hamish Hamden, and the Dugs are closed.